Slide 18 ends with a very penetrating question, and that is, should parents remain together for the good of their children? This section is in no way going to be advocating divorce. I think that when problems arise in a marriage, that genuine reconciliation in many cases, most cases, the best for everybody involved, but sometimes that's impossible. But please do not even consider this section to be advocating or suggesting against divorce or for divorce. It's simply looking at the question of children and divorce. Now, on slide 19, there is an unscientific survey. If we answer these questions on slide 19, we will probably answer them from the standpoint of our own observation, our own feelings, and without any scientific basis to our observations or conclusions. I can tell you that in the 1950s, when I was in high school and college, most people would have answered yes to all four questions. Children of divorced parents achieve less in school. Yes, we would have said. Children of divorced parents less emotional, well adjusted than children in two-parent families. Yes. Children of divorced parents have lower self-esteem than children of no divorce. Yes. Children of divorced parents experience greater degrees of depression than children of two-parent families. We would have said yes. I have a feeling that most of you today would answer at least some of those questions no. The fact is that we don't want to answer these important questions from a non-scientific viewpoint, that is, from data that we have just thought or think is correct rather than being correct. Slide 20 shows us some of the problems in what we have said. We heard child psychiatrists saying that the majority of children they saw were from divorce situations. It didn't occur to us or to them that they were seeing troubled children and only troubled children. They didn't see the children from divorced families that were not troubled enough to see the psychiatrist. And then we were basing our ideas on personal observations and comparing experiences from children from divorced families and not divorced families without seeing the entire picture. This was unscientific, and here were some of the problems that came from this. We did not see the relation between children in therapy and children who were not. There were many children from divorced families who were not in therapy who were doing well, and the therapist didn't see this. It is also possible that many of the people who were having problems were sent to the court mediators by the authorities who were trying to deal with problems in the divorces. It is possible that the problems that the children who were in therapy came from factors other than the divorce. But as it says on slide 21, the big question are the problems of an unhappy, high conflict, or constant stress family more harmful for children than the divorce of their parents? What is the answer to that question? Slide 22 gives us some scientific studies of this. You notice that Booth and Amato, two well-known sociologists, have made extensive studies of this exact subject. 3 of the studies they and others made are listed here, where these people looked at what had happened and studied the children of divorce and tried to give us some scientific findings. The scientific findings are on the next slide, slide 23. These scientific findings indicated that, or at least suggested, that children living in high conflict families have more serious problems than children from low conflict families and than children from divorced families. The impact of divorce, said these studies, is far more complicated and children far more resilient than most people have understood in the past. Most of the researches on children divorce was based on the sample. They didn't see all the children, they just saw a certain group who were having problems, and they also had some problems with the methods used. Sociological research tries to make sense out of what is common sense and asks the question, is it really true that children from divorced families have more troubles than children from families where there is no divorce? And the understanding needs to be scientific. The research suggests that the divorce of parents is less serious for the children involved than people have thought in the past. This research does not suggest divorce. It doesn't say it's good. It doesn't make light of it. It simply says that when people say we're going to stay together because that's better for our children, they may not be making the best decision for the children. The best decision, of course, would be to repair relationships and have a happy home. But sociological research can help to change what we've always thought, what we've always understood, what everybody knows, and make it more compatible with what is really going on in the world.